this is Sheetal. Today's video is unusual because I'm not going to share a home remedy with you, and this video is also not about any hair or skincare tips. Rather, I wanted to take a moment and share my acne story with you. Now, I remember that I have alluded to my acne story in many other videos, and I've hinted at it probably in my podcast or a couple of my blog articles, but I realized I never took a moment to go really in depth as far as the story is concerned, because as sad as it was for my skin at the time, it did have a very happy ending, so to speak. So I'm very eager to share this story with you, and once you hear this, hopefully you'll understand the story and the sentiment behind Apsara skincare and why I would be an expert that you can rely on when it comes to your skin and hair care needs. Let's rewind, go back a few years when I came here to America from India as a student. So the moment I landed, very shortly thereafter, my skin started to break out into acne. And at the time, I didn't really know why. I don't have genetics of acne. But later, as I tried to understand the acne cycle and the physiology of acne, so to speak, I understood that climate change can be one of the top reasons why your skin might break out into acne. That was the case with me. India tends to be very humid, most of India, and that is might be uncomfortable really, but it's actually very good for the health of your skin. California, on the other hand, is arid. It's very dry. So your skin perceives this dryness and it starts to pump out a lot of oil, which gets it caught into this vicious acne cycle. So let's set the reason aside. The external manifestation of acne tends to be very similar from one sufferer of acne to the other, whether the reason is hormones or climate or any medication that you might be having, or just simply that you hit your teenage years or your menopausal years. The acne really externally looks quite the same. So regardless of the reason, the external manifestation of acne tends to be very similar. So as far as my story goes, my acne was of the type that let's say one breakout cycle starts, it begins to heal, and then the other cycle is already developing underneath the skin. So there were so many mornings when I would wake up and I'd feel a part of my skin and I knew that a blemish, an acne blemish was coming out. The thing that was equally or more frustrating for me was the fact that when acne healed, it left behind itself a very dark spot that took so much longer to heal. So when you are in this situation, as a lot of you might relate this particular situation, there is never really a period of time when your skin is completely clear. Of course, there might be a couple of days here and there when your skin looks calm and you don't have any new breakouts, but usually that's not the case. So that's where I was. And as I said, genetics is not the root cause for me. My skin was very good, very healthy while I was in India. So this was a shocker to me. Now let's rewind even more and let's go back to when I was a teenage or even a pre-teenage girl. I was very passionate about skincare. I wanted my skin to be flawless and glowing, and oftentimes I used to find myself in my mother's kitchen, compounding these potions together with ingredients like turmeric and neem and rice flour and clays and what have you, whatever was very easily available. I was very passionate and this was my hobby. So I don't remember a time really after my teen years when I was not doing this. Even in America, I was still doing it. So then when I had the acne cycle, I was trying a lot of things that many of you have tried. For instance, I'd find myself in the aisles of a drugstore trying to buy the maximum strength over-the-counter medication made with harsh chemicals, unfortunately, like benzoyl peroxide or salicylic acid, and these things would help temporarily, but really in the long run make matters worse, because one of the first things that these things do is that they dry out your skin so much. So when the skin is dry, it perceives it and it pumps out a lot of oil to kind of heal itself, and this excess oil then turns out to become active acne because it clogs your pores. So that's the vicious cycle that a lot of us are not aware of, and even I became aware of it later as I researched into the topic of acne and I started formulating products myself. Aside from that, of course, I've had my share of antibiotics, something I would never do again. These are toxins that have side effects, and of course, while you're on the course, which typically lasts a few weeks, your acne might start to improve, but the moment you stop it, the bacterial invasion, so to speak, starts again and your skin is caught in the same cycle once more. So there is no permanent solution, it's just a mitigation at best, temporary for some time, and not long term, not at all. There were other things that I tried, skincare products of course, that promised the world and didn't deliver any results, which in itself is fine, but what is not fine is if something makes your skin worse, which was the case with me. So this went on for a couple of years, after which I just sat down and I said, I think enough is enough. I know how to do this. By this time I was already a scientist in molecular biology, human genetics, and I learned so many lab skills, and then of course I had the passion for skincare and using natural ingredients from the Ayurvedic system even as a little girl. So I decided to marry these two things together and formulate for myself just 1 or 2 products to help me with my acne situation. I went to work immediately, and the first 2 products that came out for my personal use were one, the sulfur facial mask, which you can of course find at Apsara skincare.com. It is also part of our acne care routine. And the second one was the jojoba facial serum, which of course also is at Apsara skincare.com as an individual product and also as part of the Apsara natural acne care routine. I started using these products, and before a couple of weeks were over, of course my skin was healing really rapidly, fast. But pretty comfortable saying before the month ended, even my blemishes and pigmented spots were beginning to fade, and my skin had taken this very nourished, glowing, supple, healthy look, which was very amazing to me because now my skin was looking better than ever before. Really, I feel pretty comfortable saying this also. And it's all thanks to these wonderful natural Ayurvedic ingredients. My acne was going, but I wasn't going to stop formulating because my passion had taken on it had risen another level, if I can put it that way. And I realized other people have other issues like dark spots, pigmentation, early lines and wrinkles, dull skin, uneven skin, open pores, you name it. So I continued keeping in mind other people's skin types and concerns. Before I knew it, I had like 25 odd products or so at that time, and I was still working out of a small area in my kitchen. Then I expanded into a room in my house, a nice size room, which became my lab. And then another room, I took over another room, and that became the warehouse, And then I started speaking on radio as an expert, and people wanted to buy Apsara products. It was very obvious the company was going to come out of it. And I was very amazed. Not only were people buying Apsara products from the website, they were also writing me wonderful, encouraging, very positive personal stories and testimonials, and this was very heart-touching. So I decided time had come that I had to make a choice, and I made a choice. I left my career as a human genetics and really followed something that I was more passionate about, and that's how ApsaraSkincare.com was born. So now, a few years later, there are, I want to say, more than 33 products in the Apsara suite of products, and the latest one was released just very recently, and it is called the Apsara Ayurvedic Skin Glow Serum. And as far as I know, it's only been a few weeks. The reviews are wonderful. People are loving this product. So in the end, the purpose of sharing this story was for the sake of sharing my story. A human-to-human story sharing, I think, is a wonderful thing. But secondly, if there were any message I would, kind of want to share, that I also share with myself, is to follow your passion, and sort of magic happens when your passion is just totally sincerely Followed, but last but never the least, in fact the most important, is that Ayurveda does not need any introduction. It's a 5,000 plus year old system of health and well-being that originated in India. It's time tested, it's miraculous, and as I said earlier, it doesn't need any introduction. So I urge you to take a moment, go natural, it is good karma. Visit us at apsaraskincare.com, email us, talk to me, write to me in comments below, tell me what you thought. While you're at it, you can also tell me if there is a particular home remedy video that you would like me to make for you.